Hi, I'm Rob Jolliffe. I am President and Executive Consultant at Sabre Limited. And I'm going to try and answer a question today that I get quite a bit, which is, why are ERP implementations so notoriously difficult to estimate? And I think there's three main reasons for that. So reason number one is the consulting firm that is providing the estimate, if they're not subject matter experts, if they're not industry experts in your industry, they really do not know what the configuration and settings and best practices in the ERP are supposed to be. Second reason for it is that training and learning an ERP system is a very complicated matter. We have interns that join our organization that we develop into consultants, and we require about a year for that intern to advance to a junior consultant, or a junior analyst as we call them. And the third reason I would say is that a lot of ERPs, especially older ERPs, tend to be very, very difficult to customize. So if I have a list of features inside of an ERP system, and I compare a system from, say, circa 2000, about a 15 to 16-year-old ERP software package, with something that's extremely modern, and I go down, accounts payable, accounts receivable, inventory control, all the different modules and capabilities, I'm going to see they're pretty much the same. The big difference between the two is going to be that the modern ERP system, the year 2000 ERP, it's going to be relatively easy for you as a customer or us as a consulting firm to make some adjustments and modifications to it, hide fields, change security levels, add views and lookups and reports and things that are just really user-friendly and make it easy to use the system without really getting into any programming and customization. Whereas an ERP system from 2000, that's going to be really difficult to do that too. They came out of the box as they came out of the box. You got what you got, and that's really how they were sold. So I think the problem with the partner that it doesn't have industry expertise is really the biggest problem. And in combination with how difficult it is to learn these ERP systems, that's what creates the uncertainty. When a company that needs to implement an ERP in an industry where the partner doesn't have a lot of experience, and by a lot I would say a minimum of 10 implementations. If your consultant hasn't done 10 implementations in a particular ERP in a particular industry in the last, let's say, 2 years, they're probably not that familiar with the best practices within that industry. So when that consultant has to implement, what they do, instead of making decisions and recommendations for you, is they try and train you in the ERP. They are not subject matter experts in your industry. You are not subject matter experts in the ERP. The choice is either you teach them to be industry experts, and they don't really have the time, or they teach you to be ERP experts. And that's the generally accepted practice. That's the prevailing wisdom. Train the customer to be an expert in ERP, and then the customer can make the configuration decisions. Well, you hire ERP companies to help you implement ERP, to make configuration decisions for you. To me, this kind of flies in the face of the whole point, but it explains why ERP implementations go so off the rails. The customer, not knowing what they're doing, make bad decisions. They ultimately end up asking for customizations because if they'd known what they were doing, they would have used systems differently. Now they need to customize, and the ERP project goes 200, 300, 400% over budget.